It's certainly more than a thrill-a-moment. It's looping and lunging, rapid fire, banging and bumping, twisting and turning, hill-dropping, out-of-your-seat, death-defying, gut-wrenching, bone-crunching, G-loving, breath-stealing airtime. Next to the Sidewinder, Twister, Chaos, and the Tower of Doom, it is downright amazing that the old wooden carousel is still holding its own. But it's been a popular ride at Elitch's for more than 70 years. In the late 1800s, John and Mary Elitch bought a 16-acre orchard way out in the country at what is now 38th and Tennyson. They began planting flowers, collecting animals, and building what was to become Elitch Gardens. When they opened the gardens to the public, there were jugglers and musicians to entertain, gardens to stroll, and animals to see and pet. It was a bargain. For just 25 cents for adults and 10 cents for children, one could spend the entire day. In 1905, Mary Elitch bought the 6th carousel the Philadelphia Toboggan Company made, PTC number 6. It was a beauty, a menagerie with animals of many kinds, and it entertained young and old for more than 20 years. In 1928, the public wanted a more thrilling ride, carousels with jumpers that went up and down as well as around. So Mary Elitch's carousel was sold, and Elitch's purchased a new carousel, PTC number 51, from the same company that built the first one, the Philadelphia Toboggan Company. In 1928, the company was still building some of the best carousels in the world. Elitch's Carousel PTC number 51 is an elaborate 4-row carousel.
When Elitch's wanted a new carousel, they wanted the finest money could buy, and they went to the Philadelphia Toboggan Company, who were known for making the Cadillacs of the industry. And they got this magical world. Every surface is covered, the lights, the mirrors, even inside the trappings, the outside scenery. It's an unbelievable place where you can just sit and ride and dream and dream.
For carousel expert Barbara Charles, the Elitch's Carousel is every child's dream, an Americanized version of a medieval world where the horses' trappings suggest knights going off to battle. Nothing is allowed to distract from that vision. It is a beauty. The two men most responsible for the look and style of Elitch's Carousel were two of the best in the business. Like many of the great carousel carvers of the day, they were European immigrants. Frank Carretta from Italy and John Zallar from Austria. Frank Carretta's background was in furniture, but he found carving carousels far more satisfying. As head carver for the Philadelphia Toboggan Company, he created the patterns for the horses on Elitch's Carousel. And you can see the quality of his work in his elegant carvings. Many of Carretta's horses are embellished with gold and aluminum leaf. The most elaborate decorations are on the lead horse, an elegant armored charger carrying the company's initials, PTC. John Zallar honed his craft creating religious works for churches in Austria. Zallar carved the horses on both of the chariots. No one knows who carved the Roman-style chariots, but they are what many people come to see.
The chariots on this carousel are particularly interesting, probably carved as many as 8 or 10 years earlier during the height of World War I, and the patriotism is reflected in Miss Columbia and the flags and the overall motif of them.
carousel fans, it is these two beautifully carved chariots that make this carousel unique. And there is a recent find. Elitch's archivists discovered two unique horses on the carousel were carved by the Denzel Company. They are virtually identical to Denzel horses carved in 1895 to 1903. The Philadelphia Toboggan Company built beautiful carousels. Only 28 are left. At least 9 were destroyed by fire. Others, particularly the elaborate ones, have been split up and sold. Saving this unique American heritage begins with knowing and appreciating what we have before it's lost. Next time you ride a carousel, think of carousel carvers John Zallar, Frank Coretta, and others like them. Could they possibly have known how much pleasure their work would bring? Just how much pleasure could that be? 1 billion rides or more? Enough distance to travel from here to the moon? Enough time to fill 10, 20, 30 years? The answer isn't in numbers. It is in the eyes of a child on the back of his chosen steed. What is he looking at? Where has he gone? What impossible dream can he dream? That's the pleasure a carousel brings.